Good afternoon, you guys. I want to bring you guys a review of The Shy, Season 5, Episode 5. Basically, to the point where we are going to explore the relationship of Keisha and Emmett. Basically, it seems as though Keisha spent a lot more time over at Emmett's place. They're getting to know each other. Emmett was to the point he goes into work like he normally does. He was having a normal day. He decides he wanted to ask the next customer what they actually wanted, and the gunman puts a gun into his face and says they wanted the money. He was actually getting robbed. Thankfully, Rashad was actually there. Rashad recognized the guy that was holding the gun. It was a guy that was covered into the rock. His name is Bakari. I'm sorry. Bakari, to the point he decided he wants to hold up and try to rob Emmett. Basically, he was able to apprehend Bakari and actually get the gun from him. He makes him go sit down. He asks him why. First of all, why is he trying to rob a place in the open like that? He basically breaks down and tells him what's going on. He tells him that he's actually homeless, and he asks him what he's doing for money. He basically said he's just robbing and doing whatever. He basically asks him about his home situation. He lets him know that his mom put him out and he's now homeless. We're also to the point where they have a moment where he lets him know that he's going to try to help him. And he asks him, "Why are you trying to help me?" Basically, Rashad said, he wished he had had that type of influence when he was actually growing up. He would never made the mistakes he made. He said he needs to intervene and try to make his life better. He also gets to the point that he decides that he's going to take it upon himself to actually see whether or not Bakari can actually come live with him and his brother. His brother was actually out on a, we might as well say, a date. He goes out with um to this new lady. Basically, she's a journalist that's been coming around asking questions, and finally they went to an event and they both were there at the same time. The lady that he normally is so-called dating, she set it up. So basically, he approaches the lady and asks her what she's doing after. She lets him know that she has to host the event and basically lets him know she'll be free afterwards. They decide they actually go out and have drinks and something to eat. They conversate. Looks like they're having a great time. He's to the point where they actually went to his car and they actually were sitting there talking and going back and forth what's going on. He basically brings up the relationship that he had with the actual lady Imani. She asked him why he's to the point where he's doesn't want to let anybody know that he was dating a transgender woman. Basically lets her know that he feel like it's nobody business, and most importantly, he feels like Imani in his eyes was a woman. And she was asking him how he felt about Imani not being here anymore. He basically says that that was her decision. He says that it's not to the point that don't let nobody think that he doesn't miss her, but she made her decision. And she basically asked him when did he really start missing her. He said in the mornings. He said because normally he don't like waking up by himself. It was one of those things where I think it was a moment where she basically was trying to get him an eye opener into his sexuality. She basically wants him to go public, let everybody know that he actually dated a transgender woman. And I think the reason why she's saying that without saying, I'm thinking maybe she is transgender herself. But we'll have to wait in another couple episodes to see whether or not that's true. That's just kind of insight that I'm getting from this particular conversation. They basically end the date by actually sitting in the car and smoking weed and talking and conversing. Next thing you know, they were kissing. He basically lets her know that he's feeling her. He wants to do this again, and she's basically like, "I don't want to be a secret." He was like, "I don't really think that I'm gonna make you a secret or nothing like that. I think it's one of the things where he want to pursue the relationship because he actually was to the point where he pursued her in the beginning." I think the thing with Tierra has fizzled out, and the reason why I say that is because he knows, like he tell his brother and anybody else that they doing that just to get him in office. It's just an image that they're portraying to make it seem like him and this lady are actually together. He really wants to be with a journalist. So he basically gives her a ride to the house. He opens the door and she walks into her actual home. He goes home, opens the door. He's very, very excited. Not beknownst to him that Rashad is about to drop a bomb in his lap. Let him know that Bakari is here. Not only is he here, that he's actually going to be a house guest. He basically tells him, "No, I don't want nobody here staying, specifically him." He basically lets him know that, we got to step in, we got to do something, we got to help him. So basically what he told him, he said he would try for now, but he said if he do anything out of line, he out of here. So basically after they left for whatever, Bakari takes upon himself to invite Papa over. Papa thinks he's coming over to baby just talk. He says, "Why do you bring me over?" He said, I brought you over because I want to do like we normally do, that smoke. So this side they sit down, they smoked a couple of blunts. According to Papa, he was like, well, two heads are better than one. He said, what about you conversing and telling them about your dreams? He said, I got plenty of time to think about this, that. This is not the time. So eventually, Papa still is there. Later on, Jake comes in. Jake's to the point he wants to know why Bakar is here. He basically tries to bomb rush on Bakar and try to fight him. Rashad has to apprehend him and let him know, we are letting him stay for a minute. He was like, why y'all didn't tell me nothing? Why y'all didn't say nothing? Rashad was like, we want to tell you. He was like, man, y'all just be doing stuff, doing whatever y'all want to do. Y'all feel like y'all weren't going to tell me nothing. Jake was pretty much on edge anyway. He had just left Gemma's house. They basically dropped the bomb on Gemma's dad that Gemma is pregnant. And surprisingly, the dad's taking it better than I thought he was. He basically told Gemma that it is her body, it's her decision. But he told her whatever decision she decides, she gotta know that she gotta live with it. Gemma has had a conversation with Jake earlier when she told him that he was pregnant. They had the conversation in his actual room. She basically told him that she wanted to have an abortion. She wasn't ready to actually have the baby. Jake was basically pleading with her to keep the baby. He basically asked her why she didn't want to have his baby. Gemma gave him his blank stare, like she didn't really know what she was thinking. I think her emotions was all over the place. One thing was she know that it's gonna change their lives, and most importantly, she ain't ready to be a mom, especially not at this particular age. Jake basically lets her know that if she decides to keep the baby, he would get a job and take care of her and the baby. She basically lets him know that she does not want to be taken care of, and she does not want to be anybody's mother. It was to the point where he basically tells her that he doesn't want her to have an abortion. She was like, Jake, this is my body, my decision. She basically has a conversation with Maisha, and Maisha was they were talking. She tells Maisha that Jake was looking really sad when she told him that she was thinking about possibly having an abortion. Maisha was like, well, he'll get over it. But I think it's one of those things where Jim is kind of having, second thoughts. She didn't really think that Jake was going to really step up to the plate. So she basically had a knee jerk reaction as far as like what she was going to do as far as her decision when the baby's concerned. I think the dad's to the point, this is he being bombarded. He didn't really know that they actually not only was Gemma pregnant, but they was gonna come to him with this. So they actually had a conversation. Jake is to the point where he's looking at the dad kind of sideways, like he didn't really think the dad was gonna really side with Gemma when it came to that actual decision. We have to wait and see what Gemma decides. Whether or not she's gonna keep the baby or not, I don't know. But the conversation she had with her dad, it went. I thought it was gonna go left. It actually went more smooth than I thought, because her dad is a real hothead when it comes to Gemma. He's real tight nosed about her. He wants her to go to college. He doesn't want her to do anything besides that. So I thought with her saying she was pregnant, that he's gonna be very irate and angry. But unbeknownst to me, he wasn't. He kind of took it better than I thought he would. Uh, Duda and the new guy to the point where they were on a mission where they actually went to this chop shop to try to find out what's going on. Raylan, which is Duda's ex-wife, to the point she told him to go and find out what's going on. It's been like a rash of people stealing from people's actual houses. And he was like, you want me to go around here and see who's stealing our porches? He said, no, y'all are the ears to the street. Y'all got to find out what's going on and see what's going on and get back to us. They basically talked to the guys. They were to the point where they were bombarded. They're trying to figure out why they were in there. So they had a conversation with him. He said, okay, y'all got a nice operation going in here. I want 20%. He was like, no. He said, now rephrase that and tell me that again. He said, no. He said, well, you're going to do that. You're going to give me 20% and you're going to give a big, nice size donation to the Rock Foundation. If you don't know what the Rock Foundation is, that's basically Tracy's organization that she started when her son actually died. She currently still is CEO, and she's to the point where Raylan, which is Duda's ex-wife, is taking over as her co-partner. So basically, when they go back and report to everybody, Tracy's mad. She said, I told y'all to go over there and shut it down. Y'all became partners with him. She was like, nope. He was like, no, I didn't decide to become partners with him. That was Cheek's decision. Cheek was to the point where he wanted to make all the financial decisions. He started making plans and telling people what to do. She was like, I was fine with this organization before you decided to come in and you brought your wife in here. He was like, no, you were struggling when I first met you as far as this organization is concerned. I'm just coming here trying to get you something going and something steady and make this thing solid as far as organization is concerned. Basically, went to the point where we're still waiting on to see whether or not Derek is going to be presented, and whether or not he's going to win the race as far as mayor. Like I told you, that's what he's doing, running for mayor. But he's coming to a thing where this new journalist has caught his eye. So I don't know how that's gonna go. Me personally, I'm thinking that she has a hidden agenda. I think maybe she's trying to tarnish his image because at the end of the day, she was encouraging him to go public about the fact that he dated a transgender woman. I was like, that's kind of odd for her to just not only know that, but to make it a central thing where he needs to tell her. Because at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything that really nobody needs to know. But we'll see what her actual agenda is and what kind of things she trying to do. Because I think she's trying to tarnish his image. She might be trying to mess him up as far as becoming the mayor. But yeah, this particular episode had a lot of twists and turns. But the main twist turn I like was the fact that Emma and Keisha look like they trying to get cozy together. On last episode, we saw Keisha being over there a couple of times, but now she's more adamant over here. When he decides he comes home after he got robbed, and he told Keisha about it. Keisha didn't not only was shocked, she was like, "Were you okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm still a little shaken up." So they had a little conversation. She told him to go ahead and take a shower. She was gonna cook him something to eat. He was like, "You cook?" She was like, "Yeah." So she goes and cooks, and surprisingly, Keisha whips up a nice meal, some nice spread. Emmett already told her that he was having some guys over there were going to play cards. Keisha was like, "I want to play cards too." He was like, "Nope, it's just the guys." She was like, "You already know I'm coming, so ain't no need of even speaking on it because I will be playing." So, known to her, everybody did show up. The dad showed up. Actually, Rashad showed up, and actually, Rashad's brother T, he showed up as well. So they basically everybody decided they're gonna have cars, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna get." The dad said that he was gonna get Rashad as his actual partner. So he was like, "Keisha gonna be my partner." So they basically had a round of cars. Everybody was having fun. They decided they were gonna have advertisers. So he basically Emmett put out Keisha's dip. Actually, Darnell was like, "Man, this dip is good. Who made this?" He said, "Keisha." So they to the point they love the cheese dip. They was raving about it. Everybody was playing cards. Next thing you know, they got to the point where they was about to end the card game. So Darnell, thinking that the card he put down was going to win, come to find out Keisha card actually won the game. So Darnell, not Darnell, Emmett and Keisha actually won. So basically, everybody was running around, talking or whatever. You know how Darnell do. He got to have his brown liquor, so he was having him a little bit of brown liquor. He starts to speaking coherently, talking about different stuff. Everybody's joking and laughing. So Emma was trying to get the liquor from him. He said, "Dad, you done had too much." He said, "Don't worry about my liquor. It ain't did nothing to you, so don't you do nothing to it." So everybody decided they gonna break and laugh. They thought it was funny. It was time to go. Emma embraces his dad. His dad actually leaves. So is Rashad and Treat. They actually leave as well. And so it just left him and Keisha. They basically sat back and was talking. They was listening to music and coherently, as I say, hours and hours was playing by Mooney Long. That's a song I really really like. It's basically a love song. It's a love ballad and basically has a lot of references type, sex stuff like that. But anyway, I thought it was a perfect song to set the mood for him and Keisha. He basically looks over at Keisha and he looks at her like he really wants to eat her up, like she really was a snack to him. So I was like, "Go, Emma, it's the time. Go ahead and move in and go for the kill." So that's to the point they started hugging. Next thing you know, they was kissing. Next thing you know, he was looking into Keisha's eyes, and the music kind of went low, and next thing you know, they were having sex. He was asking her, Keisha asked him, "Do he really want to do this?" He was like, "Yeah." They decided they're gonna have sex. So I guess they're gonna consummate the relationship, and I guess they're gonna move forward as far as living together and being together. But we gotta stick around and see what episode goes and see. At first, I was a little adamant about him and Keisha getting together, considering that he just had got a relationship with his ex-wife, which was Tiffany. But I think it's one of the things where Tiffany moved on with the new guy, so I guess they get him a little leeway for him and Keisha to actually be together. So I don't know what they're gonna do, and most importantly, how they're gonna break it to Tiff, because eventually they're gonna have to. Because at the end of the day, him and Tiff still share a child together. So I think Emmett was to the point he was breaking his little monogamy streak, because he was to this thing where he was listening to this man who was on Instagram, basically telling him that he needed to be monogamous. In other words, he was celibate, meaning he wasn't having sex. So I think it's one thing he broke the vow of celibate and decided that he was gonna actually have sex with Keisha, and that's what they did. They did to do. This episode, like I told y'all guys, it will have a lot of plot twists and turns. Like I said, Gemma actually tells us that she's pregnant. We also see that Emmett and Keisha decide they're gonna, take to the next level and have sex. So it is what it is, but we're gonna have to keep a lookout on Teak and this new lady and see what's going on with her. I think she got some bad intentions when it come to him, but we gonna figure it out and see what it is, cause he's like he infatuated with her, so we got to see where it goes. But I to the point, I enjoy this episode like I always do. I love the Shy. It is one of my favorite series. Season 5 is giving us a lot of plot twists and a lot of turns. So we got to be along for the ride. I know I will be. Hope you guys are enjoying the review. I enjoy bringing you guys a review. If you guys are not familiar with the channel, I did put up a other upload the other day of another review. So go over there and check that out. Make sure once you're done, I'm sorry, done looking at it, you give a girl a thumbs up. It does help me as far as getting the algorithm. I also appreciate you guys that actually are subscribing to the channel. I appreciate the support. Those who've been here from the beginning, I appreciate that as well. Those who are new here, I hope you subscribe, like it, and most importantly, leave me a comment. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.